You may be doing your best to protect yourself from the Delta variant, but what about protecting your finances? Here to explain is Todd Solto with Frontier Wealth Management. Good morning to you and welcome to Houston's Morning Show.
Good morning, Melissa. Thanks for having me on.
Well, we're happy to get your suggestions. I understand you have 4 of them, and I love being able to count them on one hand because I feel like that's doable and I can actually remember them. It all starts with getting rid of some of that debt and as much as possible, probably as quickly as possible, right?
That's exactly right. Given the last 12 to 15 months that we've had, the last thing we want to do is start talking about another possible COVID shutdown. But just like you prepare for hurricanes, we certainly need to put ourselves in the best position just in case that storm does blow in. And absolutely, we want to eliminate, to the extent that we can, that credit card debt. If we can't get rid of the debt, let's consider switching to a card that has lower interest rates. The net goal here is to reduce those interest expenses that we may face in uncertain times.
So it sounds like sometimes it's going to take a little bit of work and perhaps a lot of homework in order to find whatever it takes to reduce that debt. All right, let's talk about how to be comfortable with your risk tolerance. Can you better explain that so we understand what you mean and how we go about doing that?
Well, sure. If you remember kind of I guess last February, last March, kind of the start of the shutdown last year, we saw a lot of volatility in the market. We saw a lot of funds, investments, really take a pretty steep dive there for a while. And it's simple. What we want to do is we want to go out and we want to research those ETFs, those mutual funds or other investments that limit that exposure on the downside. If you have problems finding some of these investments, talk to your financial professional. They'll be more than happy to help you find some of these defensive style investments.
Well, we know that we're in the middle of this pandemic and it's all over the place. It can be overwhelming to figure out how much you truly need in that emergency fund, but you think it's an important time to really increase those emergency savings just in case for a rainy day, and then just get rid of stuff that perhaps you're spending every day that you don't need.
That's exactly right. We need to really take a hard look at the discretionary spending that we're doing, and where we can, let's reduce that. Let's build up those emergency savings funds. Let's try to hit a level to where we have at least 3 or 4 months worth of living expenses at a minimum saved up just in case we do need that money there. If there's a shutdown, it starts affecting our pocketbook. Let's know that we have that savings in place for emergencies that's going to help us get through this, this possible bad time.
Mm-hmm. And then if you are trying to do everything that you mentioned as far as getting that emergency fund going, paying off debt, is it a good time to perhaps consider postponing large purchases? Sometimes that's hard to do if you really need it, but sometimes you can wait just a little bit longer so that you can take care of all those other steps first.
Yes, anytime you can postpone large expenditures, it's usually better. But, if you look at what's been going on over the last several months, we've seen the real estate market at an all-time high. We've seen the price of used cars, even new cars, really start to inflate. If you can postpone buying that house, buying that new car, which I agree, it's really tempting. It's a lot of fun. But if we can postpone it to a time to where inventories, kind of get back to a more normal level and prices stabilize, in the long run, you're going to find yourself in a much better position.
We're always hearing about those get-rich-quick schemes. It sounds so easy, it sounds doable, and if you're feeling a little desperate, you might actually believe it. Definitely a time to avoid those as well.
Absolutely. Anytime there's any type of natural disaster, any type of national emergency, it seems like these scammers kind of emerge out of the woodwork. And, just be smart, ask lots of questions, check possible vendors, that sort of stuff out with the Better Business Bureau. Get online and Google them if you have to. Just be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, understand that it probably is.
We can't stand to hear that, but I think in our heart of hearts and our gut, we know that's true. And Todd, thank you for that reminder. Good to talk to you this morning from Frontier Wealth Management.
Thank you guys for having me on. Y'all have a great day.
All right, you do the same.